Now, in the last episode, we covered the skull heart, so starting off very strong there. Now, we're going to be looking at parasites in this episode, and these guys are another major component to Skullgirls lore and gameplay. To understand parasites, we're going to need to go over some prior knowledge, so buckle up guys, this is going to be a bit long-winded. Firstly, what is a parasite? Well, according to the Skullgirls wiki, a parasite is, quote, a creature that bonds to a person's body, providing augments to their host. Despite the name, they appear to form a symbiotic relationship with their host, drawing nutrients from their bodies in exchange for giving their host supernatural abilities. First and foremost, it's important to understand which characters in the roster actually have parasites. Well, to name a few, or all of them I should say, that would be Philia, the owner of Samson, Squiggly, the owner of Leviathan, Fuqua, the owner of Shimon, Eliza, the owner of Sekhmet, Peacock, the owner of the Argus system and the Avery unit, and Painwheel, the owner of the Gay Bolga Matrix and the Bware Drive. Next topic up on the chopping block would be, where do parasites come from? Well, parasites come from the energy exuded from the skull heart, or a mysterious element that comes from the skull heart called theonite. This being the case, most, if not all, parasites are drawn to the skull heart whenever its 7-year reawakening cycle begins. The origins of parasites were left intentionally blank. However, creative director Alex Ahad has stated, all regular parasites share an origin point other than the synthetic parasites. Now I know what you guys are thinking. Hey, Melting, what do you mean regular parasites and synthetic parasites? Well, thanks for asking, friend, because it's a perfect segue to our next topic, Parasite Types. In the Skullgirls universe, there are 4 types of parasites: remote parasites, regular parasites, living weapons, and synthetic parasites. We're going to go through all these in depth, so let's start with remote parasites. Remote parasites are parasites that can live without a host or can be controlled remotely without a bodily connection. A character with this is not playable, but a good reference would be Talison's Muse parasite. The remote parasite subtype is very peculiar as they appear to be sentient but can be crafted with theonite, making them a technical subclass of synthetic parasites. Next parasite type would be the regular parasites. Now regular parasites are parasites that function normally, which is kind of obvious, but this means that they're directly attached to their host and they've existed for many years. This would be parasites like Sekhmet, Samson, or Leviathan. It was stated by Alex Ahad that regular parasites cannot be removed by force or both the parasite and the host will die. A parasite will only leave its host in the most dire do-or-die situations. These parasites tend to be rather powerful, but their abilities tend to be more on the natural side. For example, Samson can eat up and spit out the bones of his enemies as weapons, Leviathan is made out of flesh and bone, and Sekhmet requires blood to even use her power. Now, the third subclass of parasites are actually quite strange, as debatably speaking they're not actually parasites, but I don't really feel like making a whole list about these guys, and I'm probably not, so we're just going to throw them on here. Living weapons. Now, living weapons are strange because, technically speaking, they're more akin to an artifact or like an heirloom than an actual living being. These would be things like Parasol's Umbrella Krieg, or Umbrella's Umbrella Hungern, or, actually, the Raynor family arsenal, as a matter of fact, are all living weapons. And, another fun fact, they're all named after the biblical 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, which is kinda neat. Now, the fourth and final subclass of parasites, synthetic parasites. Now, this subclass of parasites is actually quite interesting, because as the name implies, these parasites are man-made, meaning that most of them were made with the intent of being anti-Skullgirl capable. Examples of these would be Painwheel, the Gay Bolga and Bware Matrix, or Peacock's Argus system and Avery unit. Synthetic parasites, very much dissimilar from the natural ones, can be removed, which is a huge difference. They can only be removed via careful and very well monitored surgery, but we can see the result of this as in Painwheel's arcade mode ending where she's carrying her parasite in a cello case. Both characters are classified as being anti-Skullgirl war machines due to their parasites being crafted with the mysterious, Skullheart related element theonite, which is a bit strange, but that's how they know when the Skullgirl comes back to life. Now, this is all very important because parasites themselves are actually very important in Skullgirl's lore, as they predate even the Skullheart itself. It's said that in ancient times their hosts were referred to as Theons, and that their fall from grace was actually a direct cause of Eliza's parasite, Sekhmet, as her abilities with blood weaving and blood magic caused mass panic and led to the negative stigma that's harbored around parasites even to the modern day in the Skullgirls universe. Now, as is becoming tradition in the 2 episodes we have of this series on the channel, we'll end this lore analysis with some nice questions for you guys. First up, if the presence of theonite can enhance the abilities of a parasite, as seen in Eliza's arcade mode ending, what do you guys think would happen if other parasites had come into the presence of that amount of theonite? Do you guys think like Samson would become gigantic or permanent level 3 Leviathan, stuff like that? Do you guys think that the Skullheart played any role in the creation of some natural parasites? Because they only say on the wiki that some maybe predate the Skullheart, so maybe others were made to control it. Maybe the Trinity was involved with the creation of parasites. They used it as a way to like naturally combat the Skullheart. I don't know. Good questions for you guys to go think about though. As I said in the last section, I'd love to hear what you guys think of these questions in the comments. Be sure to pipe up about anything I may have missed or you think would fit into the video, and please fact check my video. Be sure that I'm not spreading misinformation. I did my research, but if you guys find anything that's inconsistent or doesn't line up properly, just let me know. I'll try to fix it. But yeah, as always, it's Melting Explodes Bloodily, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.